No, mate, seriously, leave it with me. Everything's under control. I'll chat to you later. Glenn, wake up.
So, what's happening, mate?
Got a bit of a dilemma. Mate of mine's just come across a pile of money. Don't ask. All of a sudden wants to buy a new car. No shock there. He wants something pretty special. Bit of Grunt, sedan. I reckon he's got two choices. Audi S6, Mercedes AMG E63.
Right. Why just those two? I can see a BMW M5 that'd just be right at home in this group.
Nah, mate. Not in this group. Not because I told him he couldn't have one, basically. Too hard around town. It's, you know, it's got the Grunt on a track, but that transmission, hard work. So that's out. Forget arguing it.
All right, I'm with you there. So if we've got two cars, there's two of us. Looks like we're going for a drive, yeah? Which one?
Not quite, mate.
No.
I've sort of been driving both these cars for 3 or 4 days now.
Oh, so what do you want me to do?
I want your opinion.
I'm happy to give you my opinion. Let's chat. First of all, looks. For me, only one of these cars looks any good. Audi S6, it is style. The E63 just looks a bit...
The E63 has presence. It's out there. It's got the nice Benz badge kicking up the end of the bonnet. It just looks sensational. It's got a real feel to it. It's different. The S6, to me, it's just like an Audi with 4 exhausts hanging out the back. It's sort of, you know, just doesn't stand out. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think either of these things are bad-looking cars, and besides, you and I ain't oil painting, so...
Yeah, okay, right.
Got to come down to something more than that.
Yeah, mate, with these cars, it's about performance, isn't it? I mean, you look at this on paper, you've got 800 horsepower plus between them.
Yeah, no more, 900 I reckon, but yeah, there's bazillions of Grunt. I mean, that's the tricky thing. The Benz has got 378 kilowatts. That's the best part of 500 horsepower. And it's now got a 7-speed transmission, which works pretty well with the car. The disappointing thing for me, though, is you haven't got that mid-range grunt that the old one had. Now, okay, it's not lacking in the mid-range. The new car's got 10% more power. It's got 10% less torque. Now, everyone seems to talk about the first figure, not the second one, and, you know, I reckon it lacks a little bit for that.
But you're never going to say it's slow, right?
Oh, no.
0 to 100 in 4.5. But the thing I've always wondered with AMG Benzes, to me, they've always felt like AMG's gone to town on the engine, and then they've run like buggery to make the suspension keep up with it. You know, you don't want to go around a corner in an AMG. Is this thing any different?
It's got a bit of that. It's a bit heavy at the front. It's sort of, you know, corner to corner, you're going to smash just about anything on the road. But again, I'm not sure whether that's a huge consideration for him.
Okay, so what about the Audi then? You spent a bit of time in that. I mean, Audi too had a real problem with handling in the past. They also had a problem with engine performance. They've fixed that. As far as I know, this is a Lamborghini engine, is that right?
Yeah, V10 Lambo. And look, in terms of brag factor, that's pretty good. What you lose in the power, it's down almost 50 kilowatts on power. Whoa. Compared with the Benz, but what you lose in that, you add with another 2 cylinders and this brilliant growl. It just sort of shouts at you that here I am, I'm a V10.
It really sounds better than the Merc, does it?
Well, I don't know. There's something pretty good about V8s, which I love. So again, I don't know. Look, put it this way: the Merc's quicker in a straight line. It'll certainly get to 100 k's an hour quicker. The Audi's not slow. It'll still get there in 5.2 seconds, which is pretty good. And let's face it, unless you're on a racetrack, I don't think you're going to be calling the thing slow. Okay,
final question for a bloke who's about to throw 250 large down on a car. Resale value. How do you fault Mercedes for resale value? Come on, the Rock of Gibraltar.
They are pretty strong when it comes to resale. Audi is also pretty strong these days, but I think more in the lower end of the market. You know, below about $70,000, $80,000, $100,000. I think once you're getting up to the top end type of stuff, Audi struggles a tiny bit more. That would be a tiny issue, but look, this mate of mine, if he dumps 20 or 30 or 40 more grand, I think he'd be fine with it. He'll cope.
So where did he get the money then?
Mate, I really don't want to know, and I don't think you do either. But look, I'm getting close to a decision. And it all comes down to one thing, basically, and that is the Merc has a heap of power, but you can't use it all the time. It's only 2-wheel drive. At least the Audi's got 4-wheel drive, quattro. It's not the slowest thing in the world. It's pretty damn quick. And it's also got an awesome stereo. It handles pretty well, and it goes around corners pretty slickly. It's different. It's got a bit of cachet. I'm going to tell him the Audi.
Job done then. So now can I have a drive?
No, mate.
Oh.